It is Thursday, the 14th of March, 2026. It's 38 minutes past 9 p.m. A very good evening. It's a very good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world right now. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with more. The Starforce Legacy Collection. A few more streams. I'm assuming about 4 to 5 more streams to go. Once we hit the end game, that's when I know for sure how long we have. As from then on, we no longer have certain restrictions imposed upon us. But I can also now confidently say that this series is the longest series that I've ever done. I can go and take a look at the YouTube studio because I can actually tell based on how many playlists are on Persona 5 or Persona 3. 23. Okay, not quite the longest yet, but we are getting there. We're currently on stream 18. So if we don't finish it in the next 5 streams, and this is officially the longest playthrough of a game, or of technically 3 games that I have ever done. So that will be fun. That is definitely something to look forward to. Not on my end, but still something nice to look forward to. It's a record that might or might not soon be reached. Anyway, last time around, which was on Sunday, we went ahead and finished WBG Studios, and we had a lovely summer vacation on Aloha, where Luna unfortunately went ahead and got herself blasted into tiny little pieces, and it is our job in today's stream to make sure that we bring back Luna as well as best as we can. To be perfectly honest, we don't quite know how it is all going to work, but we do know that given the fact that we still have a brother band, it means that she is somewhere out there in the universe. And if you have seen the title on Twitch, you might notice that we might be doing a bit more than purely that, because this is also the chapter that introduces us to certain mechanics that, yeah. Now, in theory, I should mention, apparently, I don't know how true this is, it is possible to just get whatever noise you want after the game is over, but where's the fun in that? The answer is not. Anyway, in our quest for all achievements, all 40 achievements, 100% achievements is what I wanted to say. We're currently on 23 out of 40. A lot of these will not be able to be done until the absolute end game, including access the server at noise level 500 or higher. The noise end card we can actually do, I believe, at this point. The stage sweeper is the only one I'm not fully sure about yet how we're going to be doing that. One thing is for certain, though. We are on our way. Like I said before, we have a very simple duty. Meet Luna. She's currently not really existing. Don't worry. We are going to fix that problem. Although...
Searching.
Let me see if I remember exactly. Double Man FM. Hello, welcome back. Hope you're having a very lovely day so far. It is kind of a shame that Luna Fractured is gone. I don't know. It doesn't feel right without hearing it. But alas, that is... Oh, oops. There we go. Oh, hello.
Searching.
Alright. Well, there we go. There's a... Let me see if I remember correctly. I know there is one in the climate controls, you see. Oh, hurts. Castle Wafer, thank you.
Transcode! Mega Man!
There we go. I hope you're having a very lovely day. That was also barely not there. Anyway, let's go to the castle CC. Trying to remember which one it is. Oh, no. Hang on. No, we're not. I kind of want to wait with the bosses until we actually have noise, because we also want to obviously access the meteor at level at 500% at some point.
Searching.
Okay, it's definitely in this area. One of you.
Searching.
Thank you. There we go. Need to deal with some viruses. But yeah, this is one of the. So I said before on I believe last stream on Sunday that Starforce 3 kinda begins messing with the established, with sort of like the established chapter procedure. Which, if you've been following the streams, it's often something along the lines of. Oh, there we go. It's often something along the lines of like there is a bit of a chapter, new areas introduced. You know, you have a new area that's introduced, and there is immediately something that happens that sort of like makes someone go evil, and then you do the dungeon. And here we are starting to see the first stage where that is no longer the case, and it will no longer be the case for the rest of the game. Aloha was the last normal chapter in the same vein as Starforce 1 and 2. Because from now on it's gonna be more focused on... hang on, let me remind myself. Okay. From now on it's gonna be much more focused on just cause and effect.
We aced that.
Oh, that is fair. I've speedrun this game multiple times, so I'm so aware of the old classic music that I'm just kind of curious to see what the remixes sound like. But yeah, so right now, Luna is gone, so the next chapter is not evil boss. It's, I mean, technically there's still a boss at the end, but it is, the chapter isn't, okay, here's the next person that becomes evil, it's to find Luna. In the meantime, in the background, stuff is already being set up for the next chapter. It's a lot more, I guess, what we would today consider be more how stories go in video games. Like Star Wars 3 came around in 2009, which is, that period, 2007 to 2011, is a very transformative period in gaming in general. Where we move away from sort of like, I guess what you could call the Final Fantasy structure of chapters, where like every chapter has like a dedicated dungeon and dedicated boss. At least for the first six Final Fantasy games. And we move more into what's nowadays more common, which is cause and effect storytelling. So like the way you would see it in a book or in a movie, where it's not so much, okay, we have a chapter, we need a boss. It's, okay, what's the next logical follow-up to the events that have just happened? Oh, absolutely. But it's also more, there was a change happening in gaming in general. And I think that that is also what's helpful here. Go, let's turn it up. So it came out during that very transformative period in gaming where stuff just kind of started moving into... I think that people have often talked about gaming needing to be more movie-like, and I think the storytelling department on cause and effect is the biggest example of that. Remind me, what is it? So it's not merely the fact that Starforce itself is, but that the entire period is full of moments where gaming begins to outgrow sort of like the classic formulas that existed because of space development. So it definitely sort of like look back on the collection as a result of that, like, and also where the differences with Battle Network lie. I also love the fact that it's immediately like, do you want to call the cops? Well, hello, sir, I believe you called. So yeah, so it's really interesting to sort of look at that, and it might also explain why I never really got into Battle Network as much as I did with Starforce. Obviously, on some level, it's that the first Mega Man series you play, sort of like the series you return to. It's also that Starforce just... I've always been much more about storytelling.
Alright!
Like, I've always just been much more focused on a good story. Like, I can accept gameplay or somewhat meh gameplay, if in return there is a solid story being told. And with Battle Network, that was never quite the case. Compared to something like Starforce.
Here I go! Here I go!
You're done.
There we go. But yeah, so we're just kind of going out doing a thing. We need 6 bits. This is also partially just a way to get you to explore the island more. Like, compared to the other chapters, Christ, good morning. The island, let's call it the island. The island is more linear in its design during its own chapter.
You're no match for us.
So this is a solid way to just kind of have you explore the island and go back to old areas. Yeah, that was sort of where it grabbed for me as well. But for me, I was streaming Battle Number 3 at the time. It was sort of too little too late. Like, I'd already gone through 2 games where the story was minimal. So I just, in the end, with Mamoru, by that point, I had unfortunately already so checked out that I was mostly just finishing it for the sake of finishing it. Which, looking back on it, I should give Battle Number 3 another chance at some point. There we go.
Searching.
Ah, there we go. And that's just a real shame, because I think Battle Network 3... It's interesting how Battle Network 3 is also... Battle Network is considered to have the better gameplay, but Starforce the better story, and I just wish there was a game that combined the two. And Starforce 3 in that regard is, I think, the closest we've gotten to that. Where we really see that movement where Starforce and Battle Network finally combine into something better than the sum of its parts.
Searching.
Okay, so there's nothing in the way, Rodeo. Now, I do know there is it's somewhere on this beach. There we go.
Searching.
I've not played Battle Network 6 in a long time, so I would have to replay that, but I was so done after streaming Battle Network 5 that I just took a 2-year break. Also love the fact that what I also love is that Ace is being the bad cop in this situation, just like a bit of personality being developed here. They're now trying to advertise with... Oh wow, the bots are trying to advertise with AI viewers. Just... Wow. If there is one way to get me to ban you immediately, it's to say, hey, how about AI viewers? Like, no, get that away from me. Don't ever dare talking to me again about that. Exactly. Okay, then we're gonna take a look at this here.
Searching.
Okay, there we go. Then the final bit is over here as well. Oh, whoops. So I'll be honest, I've not played the classic series. I've played X and ZX. But as for the classic series, nah. I'm not the biggest fan of run and gun. Exactly.
Searching.
Exactly.
Searching.
Okay, getting closer. We also have an ad break coming up in 1 to 2 minutes. For those of you new, if you are not subscribed to the channel on Twitch, there will be ads of 90 seconds every 30 minutes. That way, everyone gets ads at the same time, and you don't have to deal with 10 minutes of pre-roll advertising. So don't worry about it. The rule for Twitch and also on the YouTube side as well is that whenever an ad break happens, we stop any and all story progression. I might do fights if they are not part of the story, or I might just continue with getting chip grinding. But if we are in the middle of story stuff, like we are right now, then during the ad break, everything will stop and we just kind of chat about anything and everything. Because just because you aren't subscribed doesn't mean you should miss any footage. Like, I loathe streamers that decide to put some of the biggest story moments behind an ad break. There's no reason for that. You know?
Searching.
There's a million reasons why people don't want to buy into Twitch's into Twitch and don't want to buy a subscription. And you should be able to respect that without getting yeah.
Searching.
Anyway, all of that is to say, there's an ad break coming up in, I assume, 30 or so seconds. So yeah, don't worry, don't go anywhere.
Searching.
I think this is the one I always have the most problems with.
Searching.
Let's see. Still distant.
Searching.
I will talk about what you just said after the ad break, Doubleman. Don't worry, I am reading it. But I don't want to start a conversation if we might in the middle have to temporarily... There we go. I'm in the meantime still doing some light searching.
Searching.
Still distance. Okay, let's see here.
Searching.
Closer.
Searching. 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 Searching.
Just gotta... Okay, so we're actually getting further away.
Searching.
Yeah, but we've been apparently getting closer for the better part of 2 minutes now. Okay, so that's not it.
Searching.
Ah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Now we just wait for the outbreak to end. And there we go. Welcome back, everyone, from the outbreak. Hope they were nice ads. We did wait here. I finally found where the final frag is, but let me go and see here what I missed. Whenever I talk smack about Kazakhs, I'll shooter spawn in. Yeah, I'll be honest, like I said, I tried Classic 1 and I just couldn't get through it. We did stream 11. We did stream all of 11. It's up on YouTube. I did have a lot of fun with it. And I will be playing 12 as well, but I definitely feel like my big problem with the Classic series is that I just can't get into the old school design philosophy. And that's the other thing as well, it's like Classic has by far the most quantifiers attached to it. It's like, oh yeah, which gaming series should I start with? It's like, oh yeah, don't play 1 for Classic, or 7 or 8 or whatever. Oh yeah, with Mega Man X, yeah, everything after 4 is like kinda bad. You know, with 0, everything is just difficult. So you actually have never hear anyone talk about it. With Battle Network, it's once again like, oh yeah, but you know, 1 is just a prototype and 4 is like just tournament arc. And I'm like, the best way to get people to run away screaming from your sub-series is to give them like a million different commas. Like, the best way to make people excited is to go like, oh yeah, 1 is like a nice, good, like the best way you could say it is like, if I had to imagine it, is like, oh yeah, 1 is a good prototype, but the series really hits its stride with 2. Like, I feel like if you are able to not talk about it as like, or if you call X7 an interesting experiment that didn't go anywhere, you know, at the very least, you're not making people run away from your sub-series by having this checklist of things. It's sort of like the same with the Star Wars movies. Like, I once asked a friend of mine, because I've only ever seen half a Star Wars movie. Bad, I know, but let me actually go with it in the meantime, continue on. Because this is the final track that we need. But I asked a friend of mine, like, hey, what Star Wars, what is like, is there an order I need to watch the Star Wars movies in? You know, is there like a thing that I need to do in order to understand? And he's like, oh, you know, like we've got like 3 checklists depending on like if you want to watch it like chronologically, but then also read these books and like play these games, or you can do it as it was released, but then you need to like do all of these additional things. It's like, don't, because now I'm already no longer interested. At that point, it's like at that point you've added so many. Like the only Star Wars content I've ever dealt with is the Old Republic games, because they are genuinely just good RPGs. Like I know nothing about Star Wars beyond just the Old Republic and the Old Republic 2, which is just two just great RPGs in my eyes. Like, they're old, and they definitely have quirks from games from 2004, but, you know, I think they're fun. But that's about all the... like, that's about all I know about it. Like, don't get me wrong, half the movie that I watched definitely looked interesting, and based on the... Obviously, even knowing that's, like, it came out in the 70s definitely adds to, like, a wow factor that makes it fully understandable why it became the juggernaut that it is. But like, I was also like, oh yeah, I need to go to bed, I'll watch this tomorrow, and then I just never did. So it's not even that like I don't like it. What I saw is just more like, oh yeah, I was busy doing other stuff. Like Final Fantasy 14 fans actually have a similar problem. And I talked about this on Blue Sky for a bit. Where it's like we tend to be really shit at explaining why. But also, we tend to like... So for those of you who don't know, Final Fantasy 14 essentially has a couple of really good expansions, but a base game that was put together in 2 years in order to make up for a disaster that was quite literally sinking Square Enix the longer it stayed active. So the base game is often considered the worst. It's often considered sort of like... It's considered to be a baseline, like the team hadn't really figured stuff out. And people often talk about the base game of Final Fantasy XIV as if it's something that you need to endure. And I did that for a long time as well. And I've, over the last few years, kind of come around to saying, like, instead of saying, oh, it's shit, you need to just kind of work your way through it. It's, you know, it's sort of like, here's your vegetables before the good stuff. I've now come around to saying, like, it sets the stage. It's stage setting. You know, it is world building. Don't consider it to be like the kind of ground story that you will have in the other expansions, but like smaller stories that introduce you, like little vignettes that introduce you to the overarching world and the plot points and the main themes of the game. And I feel like by doing that, you get people more excited. And I think that that's something that a lot of gaming communities could do as well. Same with something like Mega Man or indeed Kingdom Hearts. Like, I played them in release order. I had a lot of fun with them. But it's like, if you can just kind of accept the fact that... Like, we as gaming communities tend to believe that the way that we do things, or the way that we say them, is set in stone after we have said them, and it just isn't. And like, actually, over the last few years I've been playing Kingdom Hearts now that's out on Steam, and I've been having a lot of fun just going through it in release order. Like, I deliberately did not look anything up regarding how... The games are like, oh yeah, but it's so difficult to understand. And I'm like, if you just kind of have all the games in front of you, it's... not that. Exactly. Exactly. Now, to be fair, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV since 3.05, so I've always been at endgame for all intents and purposes. But... Also, yeah, we're seeing here a plot point that's going to be relevant. We're actually already moving from Chapter 4 to Chapter 5 with this cutscene slowly. As we are seeing something that we're going to be dealing with in a minigame relatively soonish. But yeah, it is indeed, it's sort of like the how do you draw an owl, and step 1 is draw the circle, and step 2 is draw the rest of the owl. Yeah, and I do understand why they offer story skips. Like, I know that World of Warcraft is definitely more focused on gameplay and mechanics than that it is on story. But I'm also kind of like if you're buying a Final Fantasy game, like, even if it's an MMO, it's still a Final Fantasy game. Like, of course the story is gonna be the most important. Like, why would you deliberately skip that? Oh, I want to play with friends. Well, you can, you know, like, I'm specifically, I don't know how much you know about Final Fantasy XIV Double Man, but there are so many ways that the game tries to get you to actually play with your friends. Like, you can do dungeons with your friends through level sync. Same with the trials. You can just party up in the overworld and just do fades. Like, the fact that level sync as a concept exists, where you can where you're synced to at maximum for 3 or 4 levels above the minimum dungeon level. So the best way to describe it is this. It's like, so the first dungeon in 14 is level 50. But what if you are level 90 and you get put in there through random means? Well, the game goes, okay, we do level plus 3, and that's the maximum level you can be. So you're lowered down, so you downgraded from level 90 to level 18. So that way, you know, you still get a reasonable dungeon experience. So it's like, you know, there isn't really a reason to skip the story in that regard. But then again, you know, people play they want to. And that's the important part. Like, as long as you're having fun. Anyway, no, yeah. Speaking of Final Fantasy XIV, there's actually gonna be a bonus stream probably next week on Wednesday and Thursday night. There's a friend of mine that's gonna go through some raids that he is gonna be streaming himself on YouTube. So I'm gonna be probably streaming on Twitch. Just kind of going through it and just having fun. Oh, you're in post. Oh, you're in post Stormblood. Ooh, I'm not saying anything in that case. I will, in that case, thank you for noticing that, because this allows me to know what I need to keep my mouth shut about. Like, I'm not certain if you're on the free trial. If you are, then you should know that Shadowbringers is now available. And if you aren't, then just... And that's the thing, like, the friend of mine came out in Wilds. That did not happen. Yeah, that sucks. Not much I can say about that. But yeah, no, like I said, friend of mine is gonna go through some Heavensward raids on Wednesday. And he's gonna be streaming it, and I'm might as well stream it on my end on Twitch as well. But yeah, see here. Ooh, spoopy. I feel like this is often the point which I consider to be the move into the second half of the game. You got all the DLC. I wouldn't actually even call it DLC, to be honest. Like, it's pretty clearly expansions, but yeah, just enjoy it in your own pace. Like, my friend, for example, has been done with Heavensward for a while now. He's on the free trial, and he's just like, yeah, man, I'm just taking my time. Like, I'm just doing other stuff for a while. You know, like, he's done with 3.3, and he's like, you know, I'm just doing whatever I feel like. And that's sort of what I always recommend people. Is I asked someone in a Discord a few days ago. Asked me, like, hey, you know, when do I need to do all of these optional side dungeons? And the answer is, I will be honest, I don't really play Monster Hunter. I've not... I mean, I own it, but I've never really been able to get into it. So that's sort of like my honest answer there. But yeah, but it's like, someone asked me like, hey, when should I do the optional side dungeons? And it's like, whenever you feel like it. Like, you can do them on your own when you're level 100, you can just kind of do them between main story stuff. You know, as long as you're having fun, that's the important part. But yeah, it's it's only good to hear that you've been having fun. Sure. Oh, cool. I will also say this. It's if I'm allowed, I mean, we'll talk more Final Fantasy once the particular Final Fantasy stream is up there. But I'm kind of glad. One thing I was worried about is how are they going to deal with the Ultima raids? Or the ultimate raids. So the ultimate raids are difficult. They are the most difficult content in Final Fantasy XIV, but they also require a bunch of steps that you can't do as a free trial player. So I was like, okay, how are they going to do that? And the answer is actually surprisingly simple. You just don't have access to them. Which, you know what? That's fair. I will be honest, I've never... Oh, Omega Savage as in... I assume you mean as in Monster Hunter, because I've never actually done Savage. At least not Omega. I did Shadowbringer Savage for a while. But, yeah... I don't know. I currently don't really have a group. So, it's like, yeah, I'm currently mostly focused on Fate grinding of all things. Like, I'm currently leveling my Reaper to 100. But yeah, I can talk about all of that stuff on Wednesday on Thursday. To go back to Starforce instead of chatting about Final Fantasy XIV, which just seems to happen at times. God, surprisingly, the overlap between Starforce players and Final Fantasy XIV players is surprisingly big. Like, there's even a friend of mine that has been able to avoid it for the longest time that started to try it out. So, just about every single Starforce speedrunner that I know is at this point playing that game or has played the game. Like, good lord. It's, I genuinely don't know where the overlap comes from between the two. But yeah, no, to go back to Starforce, something that's really, once again, something that we're seeing here is is the development of story. Like with Battle Network, it would be like, okay, we've got Luna, we do the dungeon, do the boss fight, and then all of this is dealt with off screen as like a, oh land, be careful, you know, Waza was attacked. Whereas over here, we can actually work with it. Also, I like the guitar in the remixed OST here. Like, the song played during this moment has always been the most electronic. And so having that additional guitar at the very end just kind of elevates it in a way. Like, this didn't need a lot of change to still be good. So just adding a few bits and bobs here and there. It's just sort of like, this was a song that didn't need a whole lot of upscaling and didn't need a whole lot of additional changing. Ooh, be very. I'm not. Something I recommend if you're curious is to. There is a really good YouTube video on Omega Ultimate. It's technically some spoilers for. I guess some visual spoilers for Shadowbringers. But I definitely recommend watching it because. Like, I can only imagine what a Monster Hunter hunt would look like with the mechanics of Omega Ultimate. There is one attack in particular that would probably ruin just everything in general. But yeah, we are now officially in the second part of the... I always consider this to be the point where we move into the second half of the game. Like, now we're dealing with Satella. We're essentially done with the... what I said before, with sort of like the chapters as they have always existed. Now we move into cause and effect. Wazar's being attacked, we need to deal with that. Then something else is gonna happen. Then we're gonna be sort of like finishing up the main plot point from the first chapter. That will lead to, once again, stuff that's happening. Like, there is still a distinctness to each chapter. But with one slight exception, it is more fluid in when one moves into the other. And obviously we're also, something that we never quite saw with Battle Network, we actually see the others fight as well. But yeah, I'll be honest, I'm kind of amazed that Odin hasn't made its way into Monster Hunter. Let me first of all go and save here. Because I would think that Zanuck Ketskin would be a great attack in the same way that Delta attack is. Where it sort of becomes an insta-wipe. But yeah, the chapter or the stream today is called Make Some Noise. And this is the reason why. Oh, I might need to look up a YouTube video in that case. That sounds sweet. Exactly, we're noise maxing. It's also a double, nah, I don't want to say double entendre, but I've been watching a lot of Dropout as well, so there's also sort of a reference to that. To the noise boys. And we were actually warned about this earlier, that we don't know the full effects of noise. So it's completely within character for Geo to be dealing with these effects. Let me see if that is dealer. I mean, on the one hand, it happens a bit late. On the other hand, it makes sense, right? Like, we've been, since... Christ, good morning. Since we got the ACE program, we've dealt with Club Strong, which let out an immense amount of noise, including Crimson. It can very easily be argued that the effects of Crimson on the ACE program was never fully researched. Like, it can very easily be justified. Also, say hello to... Oh Romeo, wherefore art thou, oh Romeo? For dark phantom thy scoundrel, why hasn't thou died with the fall of an empire most large? Forsooth, hast thou not learned from thy plight in a game most funny? I don't know, I've never read Shakespeare, so I have nothing prepared for here as a joke. Let me also quickly check something. Yeah, no, okay, that is all good. I mean, that is exactly what we're gonna be grinding for once we have access. Like, I said this at the... I believe I said this on the very first stream. The moment we can, we will be grinding for road noise. So that's the other reason that today is called Make Some Noise. And for reference, last time around it took 2 hours. Well, I also love how he's like, why must the script always call for hero to win? Because you make shitty scripts, that's why. I mean, that is true, but I mean, have you seen anything about my channel and the emote? Like, we're going for rogue noise purely for the win. Besides, I feel it's only fair to beat Dark Phantom by being the 2 people he hates the most. Even if he were to hypothetically switch to a different noise later, I kinda like the idea of, in the last few moments of his life, that he sees the 2 people he hates and despises the most as pure revenge for all the bullshit that he forced us through in Starforce 2. Okay, let's see, what do we have? Let's do single use on you.
Prepare yourself.
Like, are there technically better noises out there? Oh, absolutely, and for PvP especially. Yeah, that is very true. Like, I'm not gonna say that pretend if it isn't, but, you know, like, I'm not doing PvP. And to be honest, PvP is already relatively dead.
Got you.
You're
So, like, I'm just doing this because I'm having fun. Like, and I believe you can just switch noises as you please after getting to the end game.
You're blasted them into stardust.
But what is our first noise going to be? Ooh, I think it's a fungia noise. Sickness, maybe? I'm not quite remembering. Oh, Gemini noise. Oh, right. Yeah, no, yeah. Back out the cards you set on because you need to make them more likely to appear in battle. Non-dimming electric elemental. Because what gives bad for sword holders, that's fair. But like I said, we're mostly doing it for the lols. Like, we're mostly getting rogue noise for the lols. And because if you look at my channel aesthetic, I was always gonna go for it. But once we're done with the end game, like once we're in the end game, I might switch it around as I please. Once we're sort of like done with, well, once we're done with Sirius and we just are kind of faffing about. I also love the fact that there's like no mystical story behind it. It's just like, oh yeah, noise is just capable. No, you actually do get to stay. You can decide if you want to keep your noise form or not. So you can always decide that for yourself. You don't have to take the next noise if you don't want it. So that is something that is from all the way back in the DS games. It's like you don't have to take the noise. You can always decide not to. Second noise is to get rogue noise to opposite persons. Do you know? I don't remember. I will need to check that. And I was going to check it anyway because I need to remember the percentage chances. Well, that and I've always been a big fan of swords, just in general, and rogue noise is perfect for that. But yeah, we are gonna go ahead and get noise changes. And from now on, we do in fact want to start getting over 100% on our noise. Because then we will... So the way it works is we will start at 0 officially. Once we hit 50%, the noise form actually activates. And at level at 100%, you get into sort of like all the weird stuff. Skips the checks for the first two noise changes. Oh, interesting. You can, but even then, we can still change back to Gemini form. Like there is a hertz here that will allow you to change back. Form change noise needs to be spawned for the alt phase, which only spawns when you have a noise change banked. So this is what I'm talking about. And to be honest, we are quite lucky that we are about to have an ad break. This allows me to quickly... very quickly take during the ad break, take a look at the percentage chances, because there's some percentages that work out. I know it's like 10%, rogue noise is like a 10% chance, but under specific circumstances, so I'm gonna need to take a quick look at that. In the meantime, please enjoy the Noise Boys in 90 seconds of advertisements. Let me see here. Let me, in the meantime... Giant viruses. No, just been able to see some of the new noise. Some other was will send. Like a bit of the exclusive noise, but in a rare case, they may get the noise from the opposing version. I'm aware of that. If there is a noise from that has 15%. No, swap forms. It doesn't have the. For the player not having the noise to swap, because you just spawn. That's fair. Going in both versions, there's noisism. Oh yeah, no, I should absolutely go there. You are absolutely right about that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you're right. First two noise changes. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's very fair. Noise wave. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. We're quickly reading up how this works again, because there is indeed some stuff that. So we have Libra, Corvus, Cancer, Gemini, and Ophiuchia. There we go. That's probably where I made the mistake earlier. No real brother or opponent noise equipped. Yeah. To be fair, it's also like, it's not as if as if any of my friends are currently playing Starforce 3, so it's not as if I have like any real, like as if there's a reason. Probably gonna get as many as other noise, and to be fair, like I said, like once we do get to that point, like we will just switch out to another noise form, but at the same time, it's also like part of the fun, part of the joke is the fact that we've essentially been using whatever we can in order to actually get whatever version of rogue noise exists in any game, so I'm not breaking with tradition here. But yeah. Oh, this is actually really interesting. Starts at 33%, increases every time you don't get it. So this is something I wasn't aware of. 1 in 14 chance that the virus will be upgraded to G size, so best have a warning at the bottom of the screen. also want to be in a cybercore where bosses don't appear. Okay, so any regarding opponent noise. Yeah, but that's we're mostly looking at the real brother data, which given the fact that I currently don't have any brothers. Check on the opposite version check described below. This means you can't get opposite to at least a third. It doesn't count. Okay. But this is something I wasn't aware of, is that after 5 warning battles you are guaranteed a noise change. This is really interesting, and I wasn't aware that this was a possibility. If you're looking for a specific noise, you want to save the game every time you... let me see here. Deleting the G-files don't trigger a noise change. So once we have had 4 warning battles, I mean the first round we just grab whatever we feel like, and then we switch back to Gemini after that. But over here, so after we've gotten our first change, after the 4th battle we want to save, and then get the warning and switch out if we don't get it. Let me see here. Well, so 10% I can increase it by 10% every time you miss it. Make it all start 10% from 10% onward. 12.5% check. If you pass, you get a random noise from the other versions game. There's a lot going on behind the scenes on this. But yeah, in that case, welcome to the part that essentially turned this into make some noise. For which we are going to be doing a few things. This is purely for the sake of it. This is to say damage reduction goes to 100%. Guaranteed, yes. This is purely for the sake of just kind of, you know, making the warnings easier on us. Just gonna go ahead and skip this. Because I believe from now on we can get it, but I will quickly pause out just in case. Yeah, precisely, but like I said, I kind of want to... So the reason that I'm doing this now is because I just... For the lols, mostly. Oh, why did I do it? I still need the Hoods achievement. Also feels a bit unfair to do it with... Also, hang on, why am I doing damage reduction? I don't need that. I have access to HP recovery. I'm a derp. And while true, I just kind of like the idea of just sort of like beating... of just at the very least beating Dark Phantom. With Rogue Noise. Purely for the sake of it. Can't just use them in game. Oh, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, I don't have any real brothers at the moment, so that helps. Not as if I don't want them, but more so in the sense of like... let me see here, what's a good way? Yeah, I think that over here is just... So it's a 1 in 14 chance. We first need to get the first noise change. Yes.
Prepare yourself.
Have some of this. Have some of this.
That was not what I wanted. And besides, it gives us some chance to get some additional stuff. So yeah, and I could in theory grind this off screen, but we've done everything on screen. On stream, I mean. So let's just out of it. Ready to get you. There we go. That gives us access to this part. No! Oh, you are joking! The second that I activate it, I get a warning. Oh, that is... Normally, I am the first person to run away.
You better prepare yourself.
Okay, so this is 33% chance. It was, I kind of want to say, it was literally frame perfect.
Some of this.
Like, that is so awful. But that's part of the fun.
How's this?
Fun fact, during my 1 hour runs where I see how far I can get in 1 hour, I actively avoid warning signals as much as possible.
I'm feeling good.
In fact, I would argue you will... Well... Talk about luck! So we've done this, now we need to find the hurt in question. I don't think he exists. Yeah, he will exist right here. So we need to... Let me first of all just kind of go ahead and grab. Thank you. Now let's go pulse out, because these changes don't happen unless you are away from them. So we've done the second noise change. Now Rogue Noise is available and up and running. I just need to find the hurts in question though. Or the what was the buffer the input to go back onto the... Oh, that is... In theory, he should be here somewhere. Gooey, buddy, where are you? Hang on. Yeah, there's meant to be a noise wizard here. I can't find the noise wizard. But it's, oh, is it possible he only appears after this chapter? Eat upper, thank you. I mean, in theory, we should be doing these fights for the 500 fights. Buddy! Noise buddy! Where are you? Noise boy. Okay, so at 33%. Oh. Well, at 2500, welcome to Taurus Fire 3-3. Oh dear.
I'm ready to
Well,
fight.
we might as well do it now.
Here I go. Here I go.
This is actually great because this gives me an ability to get the opportunity to get the 500%.
Goodbye.
Come on, buddy. There we go, that's 200. We don't want to finalize. This is V3, yes.
You're done for. You're done for.
This is actually good for us. This is actually good for us because we want to go ahead and get 300% going. We are not... No, not level 2 in the slightest.
You're done for.
Okay.
Okay, we might actually want to access the server. Yes, at 1500, we are not prepared for this in the slightest. Still though! So we do want to do this for the sake of the fact that we don't have other shirts.
Black Ace.
We do indeed also need 30 illegal cards.
Goodbye. You're done for.
Still though, we are at 144%, so... We are not in the slightest prepared to fight this fight, but we still did!
Never let your guard down.
Well, there's an illegal... Ooh. Okay, so that's... Oh no, wait, it's normal. This was a boss fight. But we do have our first illegal card. Which is... me likey. Yes. I'm gonna get rid of Grand Wave. Yes. That gets a save. That is indeed an absolutely amazing drop right there. But yeah, once you get past 100%, you get the ability to... Also, this didn't... There we go. This is our first actual 33% chance.
Let's do this. How's this? Here I go. Have some of this.
Come back when you can put up a fight.
Wow, talk about luck. Corvus noise. Poison Penance HP box. I mean, we might as well keep it. Might as well. We also gain our first noise frag, which we also need quite a bit for. If it was Rogue, I would have genuinely assumed that the game was fucking with me. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go ahead and continue our journey. I'm getting all of the noise forms. See, that's the other thing, is like we need to grind anyway for a couple of achievements, so we might as well, you know, do them while we are getting rogue noise. You know, like, I mean, might as well get them, we might as well start working on 100%ing. Ooh. Do you know you enable card control? Oh yeah, no, yes. It is a very cool one, but we're gonna be messing with that during the end game. Like, I'm absolutely gonna be messing around with it. There we go, because we want to get it past 100%. For Dance Fire 1, not an illegal card, but I'll still take it. Oh, so where's Noise Boy? Noise Boy, where are you? Well, he's nowhere. Okay.
Oh-ha! Bring it on!
Oh wait, hang on!
Goodbye!
Have some of this.
Hang on, I believe this is fire. Isn't it? It is! Hang on. Doesn't this Corvus count as fire?
How's this?
Hang on, I'm trying to think here. Isn't, like, Corvus's main attack fire? Ow, ow, ow. Okay, we are way out of our depth here. We are way out of our depth here. We are not prepared for these V3 fights. In the slightest. Like, but Bison kind of works, but no, I don't have undershirt yet either. Don't cut for until they cards trample naturally. Oh, cool. So we are actively, like I said, like that's the thing, right? Is we're already working on stuff anyway. Ow. But yeah, we are going to do the... we're going to do the Brave Sir Robin version of Bravely Ran Away.
Have some of this.
Yeah, that was also done deliberately on my end.
Show them who's number one.
There we go. But yeah, what I really like about the noise system in general is it allows you... It essentially encourages overkilling. And that just allows you... Like, normally with... And this might just be me, but I've noticed that often with these games, I tend to be more conservative with a lot of my actions. I tend to be a lot more conservative when fighting normal enemies.
You're done for.
But the noise system just kind of encourages you to go all out.
You're done.
All right, that was great.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, I can see why that is annoying, but in the end it's still... Also, 3, hang on. Because you have the normal enemies, which is overkill. You've got bosses, which is just non-dimming cards. What's the third rule set that I'm ignoring?
Here they come. Goodbye.
Okay, we need to somehow get... Well, that works.
Take this.
There we go, that
Wasn't
works.
even a contest.
That gives us wood grenade. Mr. hurts us. Like, we will be doing a lot of overkill just in general throughout the main story, but... you know. Okay, so we have 33... I believe this is our 33%.
Here we go.
The fun thing about cancelable X is just... Numbing overkill bosses and PvP. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I've never really dealt with PvP before, so that might explain my confusion. Again, we want to go and get overkill going.
Goodbye.
There we go.
Blasted them into stardust.
This is becoming idiotic. This is becoming idiotic. Well, there we go. There's a Fungia noise. I believe we are... And the whistle. That is, I believe, 4 of the 5 was the normal enemies. I can see why, though. Because it kind of depends. Like, with bosses, it would be next to impossible to get a good something going on. If it's... We keep gambling. We've got 4 out of 5 version-specific ones. We will keep gambling like this, absolutely. Next time for sure. You know, next time for sure. Next time for sure. But I can see why, like with normal enemies, you can essentially kinda...
Show them who's number one.
Not necessarily cheat the system, but you can definitely annoy the system in that regard. And with boss enemies, if you were to use the normal enemy system, then the noise system essentially just kind of is thrown out of the window in general. So I can kind of see why they have different things. Like, one of the most satisfying things in this game is just getting a noise combo going
Prepare yourself.
during a boss fight and just going wildly insane with your options. But we shall keep gambling in it. There we go.
Did you really think you could beat us?
That gives a snowball. Okay. Not bad. Not bad in the slightest. Oh, can't use beast stab. Damn it.
Show him what you've got, Geo.
Okay.
You're joking.
No, can't use that, but we can use... let's do simple use. Need to... There we go.
Did you really
Gonna
think
go
you
for
could
notes
beat
even without
us?
overkills and without normal. Ah, okay, yeah, that I can see the logic there. Yes, I can absolutely see why you would want to do that. Kind of understand, like if you were to use the normal system for bosses, then that would just kind of ruin the entire idea. But yeah, like I can see the no cards for
Let's
noise.
finish
Yeah,
him off quick.
absolutely.
Have some of this.
Oh, that was early. Shall we use cancel bubble? We shall. Oh. Or not, I guess. Ooh, interesting. What if I were to... Okay, that didn't count.
Here we go.
But yeah, I like the fact that overkill sort of allows for you trying to do riskier strategies.
Take this.
even a
Didn't quite
contest.
work out. Oh well. So, for reference, last time around it took us 2 hours to get Rogue Noise. The full vault is up on the YouTube channel as well, which now that I've mentioned it multiple times. There we go, now that I've mentioned the YouTube channel multiple times. There we go.
I won't lose.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there we go, in the background. Because there's been a lot that has happened since. Ow. Ooh, Bushido. There we go.
Here we go. Never let your guard down.
Okay, so that is 33%. We're now in the 33% range. So the next one is gonna be... I wanna
Time
say
to let
40.
loose.
Have some of this. Go.
Okay, good. Well, we got beast type just in case. There we go, so
Show
30.
them who's number one.
That gives us ice spin. Okay, nice, nice, nice. So yeah, it's 1 in 14 attacks, or 1 in 14. So once we've gotten 4
better
warnings without, we want to save and just kind of use that as our save and reload. Ow, sir, could you not please?
Okay. Go. Okay.
Just use elemental cyclone because we got it on with the hurts over, or with the bed over there.
Elemental cyclone.
Thank you. Into, yeah, let's go to beast slap.
We deleted them into next week.
Especially once you go past 100%, it's just a lot easier to keep the chain going, so to speak.
Let's do this.
Goodbye.
Okay, that was a miss on my end. Also adds in 2 minutes.
Take this.
Okay, good. Now we've got something going. Yes. I want to get divide line just to get it out of the way.
Here I go.
Oh, and yeah, no, there we go. We can use divide line on this. And then if we're lucky, we don't. We're just kind of gonna have to deal with it.
Have some of this.
Go.
We deleted them into next week.
Gives us more zennies. Might do a quick in and out to make sure that our old friend is actually...
Let's do this. Here I go. Got you.
Okay, good, that's 20, so all we need now is a single sword, which we do have.
You're
All according to plan.
Gives us access to sight. Okay, okay. Let's in the meantime very quickly do this. I noted, I don't think switching areas counts. I mean, I didn't see anything regarding switching areas, but I'm doing this just to make sure that our friend is still not... I should be appearing right here. But the lack of appearing kinda has me nervous. Gonna go ahead and continue on with the idea that we're on streak 2.
Let's finish them off quick. Goodbye.
All right. That was great.
It's just going ahead and continue. It might be that he only appears after this this chapter. Or maybe he doesn't appear at all anymore because it would, you know, since you can just kind of switch as you please. Anyway, this is the second...
Let's finish them off quick.
Take this.
of 5.
How's this? How's this? Got you. How's this?
Whoops. That would have been really great. There we go.
Blasted them into stardust.
Okay, that is 2. So, I mean, next time around we have 50% chance. If the theory holds. So, assuming it holds... Just go ahead and use pure beast slap.
Let's do this.
There we go, there's beast slap 1. Because we know exactly where they can and can't attack.
Go.
This actually makes it relatively easy to kite them.
Okay.
There we go.
We deleted them into next week.
Giving us... So this, it's another ice spin. Okay, save the hurts for the
Better
achievement.
prepare yourself.
Go.
That is not what I wanted. Alright then. Getting the 30 hurts is definitely more difficult than expected.
All right. That was great.
So we're currently on a third warning without noise change. Which puts us at, I want to say 50%.
You better prepare yourself.
Okay, so we're at 40, so we want to make sure that he is...
Here I go.
There we go.
You're no match for us.
Gives us our next noise frag. We need 30 of them, I believe, for the achievement as well. And sort of like grinding for noise can be relatively useful.
You're done.
Have some of this.
And then we have Big Drop.
Got you.
There we go.
Wasn't even a contest.
Gives us Puff Blast. Yeah, he might just not show up anymore because of the fact that you can just switch noises as you please once you actually hit the end game. Like, there would be no use for him.
Here we go. Got you.
That's actually an interesting idea.
Elemental cyclone.
Wasn't even a contest.
Like, that is actually an interesting idea. Like, it's possible that they've just deleted the noise simply, or the noise form simply because there's no use for him anymore.
You better prepare yourself.
Okay, good, good, good.
Here we go. Okay.
There we go, keeping him on
That was
in.
great.
Well, noise frag. Let me actually check that. My achievements. Let's get 30 hertz, access at 500, defeat an Omega boss. Illegal cut. Yeah, there we go. Obtain 30 noise fragments. Okay, yeah. So we're working on achievements while we're doing this. Seems our luck has temporarily run out.
Oh-ha! Bring it on. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay, good. Then we want to use you.
Did you really think you could beat us?
That is green ink. There we go. Wow, well, talk about making some noise. That is the next achievement gotten. Make some noise. Collect 10 illegal cards. Oh, no, let's not say that. We've got 20 more to go on that front. Today could very well be a stream where we just get that particular set of achievements. It's fun.
Oh-ha! Bring it.
Okay.
Then we can use EU. Oh, too early. There we go.
All right. That was great.
Is this jungle? I have an idea. I have an idea for one of the achievements that we still need to get, which was the one that I was thinking about a lot. We are still actually on number, I want to say 3, so 50%. But I have an idea. So one of the achievements requires us to use the entire field. And Jungle Storm can very well give us that, under the right combination. Under the right circumstances, Jungle Storm can give us exactly what we want. But we do need to be lucky. I'm following the random guy who goes to the boss first. I don't see me drift on him, but... Good. Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, that's sort of a problem I had with War Thunder as well, where it's like, you know, it's great and all, but also I can't do anything half the time. Like, there's nothing I can do half the time. It's like, great for you guys that you're having fun. Also, we need to go and get Jungle Storm. So I'm currently just kind of using cards. Because I kind of want to get a particular achievement. So we're kind of gonna be deliberately... Just have to see if it even works. Like, we don't have all the... Is it seriously gonna be at the very end? I'm gonna be so annoyed if it's at the very end. See, Jungle Storm can help us with an achievement to use all the cards on the field combined with a Fungia noise. But yeah, like, as more, I've gotten to, I want to say I've gotten to the 7th planet, to Jupiter or Saturn with War Thunder. But it's like, by the time that I get to the boss, I'm all, you know, the boss is already done. And it's like, oh, okay, great, I guess. I really should get back into that, to be perfectly honest. There we go, you're what I need.
Never let your guard down.
Okay, so it does need to be all okay. The reason why is there is an achievement called, and I've been thinking about how to do this one for a long time. It is called use a card to turn 15 panels into an attack, so called Stage Sweeper. So with a Fungia noise, I mean, it's not so much that I'm annoyed by it, it's mostly that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not really learning anything. It's less that and more, oh yeah, I'm not actually learning anything. So, like it's great if people are having fun, but I'm also kind of like, what's the point? So you know, it's like, oh yeah, great. Like, I don't mind it. But I think we have something with a Fungia noise, and if we can't get it now, we can do it in the end game. Combined with Jungle Storm. It can prove to be very potent.
Mega, let's go all out.
Oh yeah, no, I should mention the reason I stopped playing Warframe is because a friend of mine played it and we kind of had a falling out. So I was kind of like, But maybe in the future. Like currently, I have a bunch of other games. I'm currently playing. Like oh, whoops, my bad. I'm currently going through the Mass Effect trilogy again in my free time. Yeah, I know. Like, and if it was just a friendship ending, that would have been one thing, but this was like on the level of a blowout that kind of made me not associate with any games that we used to play together. So yeah, I'm currently going through Mass Effect 2 again. I've forgotten just how cool that entire game is.
Won't lose.
You're done.
Got you.
So, and apart from that, like I'm a big fan of Paradox Interactive games, so I'm doing a lot of currently doing a lot of EU5 again.
Go.
You're no match for us.
In the meantime, I'm getting relatively unlucky with my warnings. I might want to put you on high. So yeah, so I'm currently playing a lot of games. So in the future, I might once again try Warframe. Okay, we don't want to use.
You're done.
Go.
All right. That was great.
Of Blast 3 and Mr. Hertz. Seems we've kind of run out of warnings.
Let's do this.
Goodbye. Come back when you can put up a fight.
Ooh. Yes. Got myself Spin Blade. That is a very nice one that I can change with. I can change sword with.
No time for slacking, kid. Come on, I was just getting started.
That is Scythe. Another Mr. Hertz. Well, in the meantime, casually working on the Mr. Hertz achievement as well. Just go somewhere else for a bit.
Oh-ha! Bring it.
Okay. How's this?
Oh, hi, buddy. Are you stuck here with me? Oh.
Take this.
Wasn't
Let it
even
go.
a contest.
We are getting relatively unlucky currently with our warnings.
Warning.
This should, in theory, be warning 4. Or not. Might as well do Spade Magnus.
You better prepare.
Alright, never mind, this is not warning 4.
How's this?
Oh dear, alright.
You're done for.
Yeah, and we are still getting relatively unlucky because another warning that I wanted. But in return... I mean, that's 3 more luck, isn't it?
Hey, Geo, get up.
Mega Man Starforce 3. Black Ace.
New rule, we're ignoring any and all P3 bosses. Do I still have my... When was the last time that I saved? Damn it, I should have saved! Anyway, we're still on our 3 warnings. And we're right back at I don't know. I know, right? That's the problem. Why am I doing this when I don't have undershirt? Because I'm a maniac, that's why.
Let's do this.
Here's to hoping that the game counts. We should be saving up every single thing we do in regards to achievements. Those achievements related at this point. I don't know how many hits. Someone will get the achievement.
That's what you get for underestimating me.
That's such a good card as well. Why didn't I save after the card? I'm such a moron. I got Spin Blade, and I didn't. And I decided to just try my luck.
I won't lose.
You're done.
This is why I should never go to a casino, because I'm absolutely horrible with gambling. Ooh, I have an idea. There we go.
Did you really think you could beat us?
Kilo bomb? I mean, that is a nice one, but it's not what I need. Is there any particular reason why I'm on the Astro Wave? I don't know. Good luck. I'm here for good luck.
Have some of this. Have some of this.
And there we go. I just want to be done with Birdie. Thank you.
Showed him who's number one.
Let's go back here.
Here they come.
Go.
We do need to be careful though, because one of these has oh dear, there's a lot happening here.
Go. Got it.
Yes, exactly.
All according to plan.
I'm an awful person. I'm an awful person. And you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. I mean, to be fair, the other honest answer is that we now have access to quite a few achievements that you might as well start working on immediately. Stuff like getting the Hertzers, getting your noise, stuff like that's gonna take so long that we're not purely grinding for Rogue Noise, we're also working on the other achievements. Because for those of you who don't know, our job is to get every single possible achievement. I will not stop streaming this game over multiple sessions until we have every single achievement in this game. With one or two exceptions in regards to the streaming schedule. There we go, this 170.
Did you really think you could beat us?
Gives us side. And to be fair, we're also getting some great cards that are technically illegal, but we shall not talk about that. We're also still on 4. Let me just go and save every once in a while this time around. Also, we just run away from bosses from now on. Just running away.
Prepare yourself.
Here I go.
Goodbye.
I'm feeling good.
That gives us another kilo bomb, which we don't actually get. At some point I will get the achievement for 20, and that's when I know that we are counting 20 illegal cards. Which means we I'm using my Steam, so I don't care one way or another. I've long since learned, and besides, you know, you can also buy it again. you know, show the developers your support.
Come on, I was just getting started.
You know, show the developers your support. Show that this is what that you want more stuff. Nothing wrong with buying it twice.
Oh-ha! Bring it
How's
on.
this?
I'm just kind of accepting the fact that.
Have some of this.
Hang on, I'll try to do. Yeah, it is.
Back when you can put up a fight.
We've just been getting really unlucky currently with the warnings once again. Or the lack thereof. But yeah, if there's anything people want me to talk about while we're doing this, let me know.
Let's make this quick. Okay. Take this. Here I go.
Thing I've ever attempted to get is Kingdom Hearts. Oh dear lord. Yeah, I can see why you might not be.
How's this?
Oh, are you serious? If we got lucky, we do in fact get lucky. There we go.
All right. That was great.
Stands fire. Like the thing is that once we have 4 and we save, then we can just kind of keep the 4th alive, the 4th one or the 5th warning alive.
Mega, let's go all out.
Goodbye.
Ooh, I mean, to be honest, I kind of like Birth by Sleep. I'm a rebel. I like Birth by Sleep. Steal me.
How's this? All right. That was great.
There we go. It's another noise frag. The noise frags can actually start being being used or being traded for genuinely seriously good abilities later down the line.
Let's make this quick.
Hang on. I have an idea. Okay, good. I have an idea. Okay. There we go, that is Stage Sweeper. That gets another save just in case. There we go, that is Stage Sweeper as well. Use a card to turn 15 panels into an attack. That one... worst personal game ever. I think I managed to get through 3D, but I'm not sure. I might have at some point moved on. Okay, that's just for now. I'm just kind of gonna start to skip some stuff. There we go. We can work on the rest later. But yeah, at the very least we got the one achievement that was the most annoying to grab. So I'm very happy that we managed to grab that. Now that I think about it, we could also just do it in the CC core before Dark Phantom. That would work, right? Yeah, we can also do it in the CC core before you reach Dark Phantom in theory. Yeah, like I said, not even sure if I recall
I'm ready to
much.
fight.
Here's the thing, and I think it says a lot about how engaged I was. I only remember Dream Dog or 3D because I was watching a video on Pirate Software at the time. Like, no joke. I was more focused on like one of those drama videos about Pirate Software than that I was on what was going on with the game. But I'm gonna give it one more ad break, and if not, then we will just kind of move on for this, partially for the sake of the stream as well. And I might grind it off screen. But yeah.
You won't be getting out of this in one.
No, wait, we're not doing anything off stream. We have done this whole journey on stream, both the good and the bad.
Come back when you can put up a fight.
But yeah, we have ads incoming in 1 minute, so I give it 2.5 more minutes, and otherwise we will just kind of move on to the next minigame. Because I did put up on YouTube, like, oh yeah, we're doing both Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 today. Which...
Time to let loose. Did you really think you could beat us?
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I'm trying to remember. I'm like, I know there is like Quasimodo, there is Tron again for some reason, but
you better.
No, you don't.
Yourself.
That is.
Wasn't even a contest.
You know what? I'll take the 200% right there. I'll take it. Anyway, enjoy the ads. I kind of want to get at least one more warning just to gamble with it, but I know myself then it's like, oh dear. I really should stop talking like that.
I'm ready to fight.
I'm like, oh yeah, I should just get one more warning. And the game is like, I heard you.
Goodbye. Come on, I was just getting started.
There we go! I'm waiting for the ad break to end. Oh, you are joking me. On the last one before I was planning on moving on. Good lord. Oh, that is... I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do one more in order to get it. And it's like... I believe they call this streamer luck. This has to be streamer luck. Also, welcome to the chat, Tom Guy Cott. Let me see here. Made the last word of Kenya to the point where made the final boss to start for me. I'll be honest, I don't even remember the final boss of 3D. But yeah, welcome. Hope you enjoyed the stream. We are done with the grinding session. We were planning on getting Rogue for the memes. We've gotten him. Anyway, we get non-dimming sword attacks plus 50 once per turn. Can block attacks with a move barrier. Can destroy enemies locked on site even if locked onto. Adds a paralyzing effect to non-dimming, non-elemental cards. There we go. And well, talk about getting stuff going. We also gain stacked deck for gaining 20 illegal cards. Yeah, this is what we were grinding for the entire time. I need to send this to someone. I know someone is gonna love this. One moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to.
1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to. 1 moment, I know exactly where I'm gonna be sending this to.
There we go. Yes, illegal cards. Also, apologies, I was busy doing something else here for a moment. Yeah, so illegal cards are cards that you get through the warning system. Also, we're doing a double save. I do not trust the game. There we go. Let's put the there we go, counter rate goes back to standard. But yeah, so illegal cards are cards that are gotten through going above 100% on your noise gauge, and they can be both cards from the game itself, or every other card that has ever been in a Starforce game. Also, hi, so... Oh, wow, I see might have activated you. But yeah, welcome. We are streaming the Starforce Legacy Collection. We are on the road to 100% achievements. Exactly, yes. Anyway, let me see here. Possibly the funniest thing in the game is when you get to the final world, you think you should play Rico first, since the final boss is probably on Sora's side. If you do that, you constantly drop to Rico, only to be forced immediately to drop back as Rico cannot play. Oh, good lord, seriously? That is awful. That is... I think I never finished 3D, to be honest, in that case, because I don't remember that bit. But yeah, it's a really great system. Like I said, what I love about the noise system... Oh yeah, I mean, to be fair, we already... Before, I really should have saved. Oh well, we had such a good card! And then I ruined it by dying. And not saving beforehand. But yeah, it's a great way to get a lot of very good cards early on if you are willing to run the risk of dying. If you don't use the ability to just be invincible. Like, yeah, I don't think I finished 3D. I kind of at some point moved on to Kingdom Hearts 3, to be honest, and I still need to finish that game. But yeah, for those people who don't know, this is an RPG where we play as Geo. Geo is can fuse into Mega Man with an alien, don't ask. And we are busy trying to put a human back together. I'm not sure if I like this rendition of the theme. But yeah, so illegal cards are great. And like I said, what I love about this particular thing in Starforce 3 with noise change is that it essentially incentivizes overkilling. Like, it incentivizes both overkilling and also a very aggressive play, whereas the other two systems more so are both look off the draw and also more conservative play. It's more so that I kind of just lost interest in Kingdom Hearts 3 because I had done like just about every other Kingdom Hearts game back to back and I just needed to play something else for a bit. It's a very cool RPG indeed. This is indeed a very cool RPG. But yeah, I love the system here because it is essentially the polar opposite of the other two systems, where this system fully incentivizes aggressive play because the timer is always ticking down to 50%. So it's sort of like the same way in where Dark Souls... It's sort of like, if I might make a bit of a weird comparison, Dark Souls incentivizes sort of like defensive play, as you can see on the time I played it on stream, whereas Bloodborne incentivizes aggressive play. And I sort of feel like it's the same with the systems here, where this system is like, okay, since the timer is always ticking down back to 50%, you want to keep your thing as high as possible. You know, you cannot finalize to 200%. You cannot get the really good cards in finalize until you hit like 300, 400, 500%. So you are incentivized to build a deck around very aggressive play. Whereas with Starforce 1 and 2, it was a lot more based on the idea that you were going to stay conservative. I guess Starforce 3 is on some level... I mean, I guess that is what I'm saying. Yeah, I guess that is indeed what I'm saying. When it comes towards the sort of like game-unique mechanics, yeah. I guess there is some comparison to be made there. It's just not as difficult as Bloodborne is, and it never will be. One of the other pluses to Rogue Noise, which is a plus that isn't always mentioned, is it's immune. It doesn't have a weakness, essentially. So, whereas with all the other noise forms you can get out of it, or you can be forced out of it, with Rogue Noise that's not the case. You can only be forced out of it by finalizing. And even there you can go back to 50% if the fight is still going on. I mean, yes. Although, obviously, depending on circumstances, certain ones are better. Like Ofunya Noise, which we just had, is very good at getting a very annoying achievement. See, for me, the problem with playing Bloodborne is it's not out on Steam, and I don't have a PlayStation 4. Oh, yes. Yes. It genuinely baffles me. Like, I've been having a lot of fun going through Dark Souls 2 and 3, and I'm like, I kind of want to play Bloodborne as well, but it just won't ever release. Which is genuinely annoying. But, you know, I've kind of made peace with it. Like, there are so many other good games that I can play, and that I'm kind of like, you know... It's sort of the same with GTA 6. Where it's like, oh yeah, we will not release it because, you know, consoles are our main platform. I'm like, okay, then I won't play it. It's fine by me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now at Sony, to be honest. But it's sort of like the same with GTA. Like, by the time GTA 5 came out on Steam, like, I already was playing so many other games. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, you know. By that time, the cultural momentum of GTA was already gone. So, and if they're gonna do the same with GTA 6, I'm like, okay, fine by me. I guess I won't be playing it in that case. You know, that's $60 you could have gotten, and you now don't get. Fine by me, you know. Like, I've got so many other games that I'm currently playing. I actually played a fun little game called... Hang on. I actually played it. It was a cozy little game called... The Librarian, which is essentially just cleaning up a library for 5 hours. That was a nice, chill little game. You know, that's the kind of stuff you don't get on PlayStation. But yeah, welcome to the first of 2 mini games that we are probably going to be doing today on stream. Although we might not be able to fully finish Chapter 5 because we spent 1.5 hours grinding, but I don't care. We were always gonna need to do it one way or another. But yeah, we are gonna need to deal with 3 waves of more and more aggressive... right, good morning. Yep, yeah, of more and more aggressive copies of Mega. And for the first round, we have 1 single barrier to deal with. So yeah, it's very simple. We just need to keep slashing until, I believe it's until we reach either a certain amount killed or just until everyone is dead. I don't quite remember. But yeah, to come back to the noise changes, I can kind of see why they don't allow for rogue noise to be one of your first noises. I'm sorry, level 25? Did he seriously say server level? For those of you who want to know what that means, that would be an overkill of 2500%. Like, I never quite noticed that. But yeah, so all we need to do is to run around, aim at the copies and press B. That's it. Yay. Also, I believe it's only 2 minigames in general. Like, you've got this one and then the next one. And I believe those are the only 2 for once. Anyway, we've got a bunch of battle wizards. And all we need to do is keep the barrier alive. For, I believe it's either timed or based on the amount of enemies that you kill. Also, make sure that you do not actually get attacked by them, because then you will have to fight them. And this will become more important later down the line. Oh. It's just relatively simple, but you know, oh, there we go. See, this is what I mean. If they attack you... Also, look at my boy. He looks so good. He looks so good.
Let's do this.
Goodbye. You're done.
And combined with something like Bushido, like it allows you to get battle cards of 160, which is normally endgame level battle cards. But then again, so it goes like, if you build a folder around Rogue Noise, it can be very... in single player, it can be...
You're done for.
It can be very fun. Oh, it absolutely is. There we go. You can also abuse the move areas to deliberately step into attacks. Like, there's a bit more... There we go. Like, there's a bit more nuance to Rogue Noise than purely sword good. Because you can use the move area to deliberately step into the path of an enemy if that makes it easier to kill them. So, and to be fair, that's true for every single Rogue Noise. Or not every single Rogue Noise, for every single noise change. I don't know. Anyway, that's the first of 3 of this one done. Also, we are gonna need to do a mini... we need to do the minimum 1 side quest today that allows us to actually get here by train. Also gotta be safe. But no, I unfortunately do not. Anyway, the next round is up here, where we will be switching around between the top and the bottom layer at specific times. Oh, cool! I wasn't aware of that. But yeah, we're gonna be constantly moving around between the top and the bottom at specific points in time. And the game will let us know when the moment has come to move around. It's also nice to just kind of not have to worry about too much about anything. Oh. One moment. Oh, I need to go ahead and do this real fast. Because normally you are always kind of... Oh, there we go. Yeah, very well. LLR for slash with breaking if it's... Seriously? Wow, I was genuinely not aware of that. Yeah, one of the other things I like about Rogue Noise is the... Is it paralyzing? That is automatic? I don't remember. There we go, that is the second one done. PS before it spawns. Ah, okay. It's left, left, right, or right, right, left. Multi-laser. Cool. That is genuinely really cool. Yeah, like today is definitely a getting achievements day so far. Trigger's not D-pad. Yeah, LLR, yeah. Left, left, right. It's mostly how I remember the trigger buttons. Like, I'm an old school player. I remember having a Super Nintendo. Yeah, precisely. Like I said, I remember the time when I got a Super Nintendo from my neighbor, so I'm old. Oh, yeah, right, we actually have 4 rounds. My bad, not 3, 4. I thought that this was part of the other round, so that's on me for misremembering. Like, back in my day, it was still called LNR. Oh dear. Well, we can both get ourselves a stick and tell the youth to get out of our lawn. Don't worry, I know a great stop where they sell little walking sticks. I got a senior discount on them.
All right, that was great.
There we go. That is number 3. We've got, I want to say one more. I genuinely don't remember at this point. But yeah, to be fair, it's not as if I'm that old, but it's mostly like my neighbor had like a Super Nintendo and I got it for weeding his garden. Pressure on Z inputs. Oh dear. We're all old people is what I'm hearing. Don't worry, I believe the Cracker Barrel has a... I believe you can get 50% off at Cracker Barrel for our age. I don't know what a Cracker Barrel is. I just know that it's a thing old people go to. Like, to be fair, the thing I actually discovered recently is that... Sure is. Well, then in that case, I had my references correct. And speaking of speaking of getting things correct in character development, we see Bud do his first actual wave change. Yay! Congratulations on that one, Bud. that is fair. Actually, something I discovered only this week is that we apparently have Taco Bells in my country, which I wasn't aware of. Old country store like a good lord. Also, no, but it just... apparently, I wasn't aware of that. Also, hang on, I do need to go ahead and talk with you guys about something here. Because I will feel like I was attacked 2 days ago. I don't know, I've never been in America. I know, right? But yeah, so over here an American friend of mine is threatening me with a Twinkie. Is this considered a war crime? That's the main question we're gonna be having during the next segment. Is threatening someone with a Twinkie on the same level as a war crime? Because I feel personally that it is. So I just want people's opinions on what is already clearly... Twinkies are... I mean, to be honest, I probably wouldn't even be allowed into America. Oh dear. Well, in that case, I will indeed consider it a war crime to threaten me with a Twinkie. But good that we had this conversation. It's good to know where we stand on the Twinkie. But yeah, no, I probably wouldn't. To be honest, I wouldn't even be allowed into America at the moment because they're apparently checking your social media, and yeah, no, I would not be allowed in. And to be honest, I will say this though, I would like to go to America at some point. Like, I've got so many friends living in America. And I just can't visit them, which is genuinely really sad. Like, I would love to visit them and just kind of... Yeah, I, you know, like... We'll see how it goes in the future. Never turn your back. But yeah, you guys are always welcome to go to Europe.
Okay. Never let your guard down.
Oh yeah, I know that we get actual food in our McDonald's over here. Why, thank you for showing up in a single conga line. That's deeply appreciated. There we go. I deeply appreciate the fact that they just randomly started coming at me in a little conga line. That makes my job an awful lot easier. So there we go, that's the minigame done. Like, what I will say, like I've always said, the things that I want to visit in America, not obviously in one go, is, but in multiple rounds, because I'm not gonna be the European that pretends you can visit both New York and Los Angeles in 1 week. You can't. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I'm not going to America right now. I mean, there's also political reasons, obviously, but it's also... I don't have a driver's license, and I don't have the money for a driver's license. But some of the things I do want to visit at some point in my life in regards to America is the Pacific Northwest, the Grand Canyon, because, you know, once a tourist, always a tourist. And also, I don't know, like the Southwest, because we don't have deserts where I live. So it's like, I'm just kind of curious what that looks like. You know, and obviously New York, because can't go to America without having once seen New York at some point. But like, it wouldn't be only one trip, but it's like... And obviously, like, it would also be like, you know, like, the desert and the Grand Canyon can be combined, but I would then have like a fourth trip purely for some national parks. And just maybe like a road trip at some point to experience the concept of it. So, you know, one day when I actually have a driver's license, maybe. Yeah, no, I'm aware. To be fair, Americans also have a habit of pretending you can visit Europe in 1 week, so... You know, that one is on both of us. Europeans pretend they can visit America in 1 week, and Americans tend to pretend they can visit Europe in 1 week. Which has always been very funny to me. Like, France alone will take at a minimum 2 weeks if you really want to experience the culture. Yeah, absolutely. Also, Doubleman, if you are curious, the reason you were being stopped for a moment... It's because Twitch saw fingers in and assumed it was something else. So, congratulations on being targeted by Twitch by accident. If you have a networking error, just reset the stream real fast. Oh! Everything is still working over on YouTube's end. Uh... What the hell's going on with the bitrate here? Is that on my end? For those of you on YouTube side, we are currently dealing with some, experiencing some difficulties on Twitch's end. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in a speed test here. To see if it's on my end or not. Okay, let's see here. What do we get? Okay, so it's not on my end if I have to believe the speed test over here. So that is weird. Yeah, no, like download and upload over here is working completely fine. Let me take a look and see if there's something going on Twitch's end. No incidents reported. Okay. For once, I'm really happy that we have dual streaming going on over here. Because it means that, at the very least, we can continue on YouTube's end. Like, at the very least, I have a full VOD. Let me put it that way. Okay, YouTube works. Good to hear. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put in this thing. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it is wholly currently breaking. What the hell is going on Twitch's end? Okay. So, I'll go ahead and put it this way. If you guys... let me go ahead and put it in again. Should Twitch break again, YouTube seemingly is working. So I don't know what is going on with Twitch's end. It is having some serious bitrate issues that I cannot in any way, shape, or form justify to myself. But we will see. There you go. Let's move you back to gaming. So if Twitch breaks again, we will continue on YouTube. That's just kind of what we're gonna do in that case, so don't worry about it. You will still be able to see all of your stuff on stream. We have dual streaming set up. So I do apologize. In theory, it should all be working again. But if it doesn't, then we just switch over and we will continue on from there. Like, that's unfortunately the best I can do. But that just happens sometimes. Wow, this is actually the first time I'm genuinely really happy that we're doing dual streaming. Because now I know it's not on my end. And the other thing is, it's not as if I can just save here, because we actually have a boss fight coming up. So yeah, we're learning here that Ace is actually a traitor of dealer. I'll let you guys know when everything has stabilized. Turns out that Ace and Tia also were in possibly a relationship of some kind. So we are indeed getting backstory. It's also officially past midnight, so happy Friday to us Europeans. I believe in fact we're getting 2, if I remember correctly. Because we get both Queen Tia and Dark Phantom. Yeah, happy Friday indeed. And it's actually not gonna be the first time that we have double... that we have the sort of like double boss fights. Yeah, it turns out that Ace was the first transcode, or at least 001. But it seems that, that everyone else was not aware that he could do this. Yeah, exactly. We have dual streaming now on all ends. That is normally the case, but I was currently on not gaming, and then it only shows the Twitch chat, because I'm lazy like that. But yeah, we should be back, and like I said, if it once again breaks, just move over to YouTube, and we can just continue on from there. Like, it's pretty clear that this is on Twitch's end. So I'll just keep that in mind. It's like, if you guys, you know, if it breaks again, just move on. We move over and we continue from there. And as for dinner tonight, I have soup. In case people are curious, like, ooh, what are you eating tonight for dinner? Soup. I'm a simple man. Like I woke up late enough that I can actually do grocery store shopping like in the morning. So it's yeah. We're going there. So I don't think they were, to be perfectly honest. I think they both died, to be honest. I think both... no, they didn't at the end. Anyway, how about we... No, they didn't die. No, no, wait, hang on. The way it works, I believe, is there's like an image where people are like, oh yeah, they didn't die because there's an image with Ace and Tia and everything. And I believe the developers themselves said that it's pure speculation if it's an actual scene or what people want to believe. Yeah, but to be fair, that's an EM being. Like, to be fair, Luna at this point also is about to come back, so who knows at this point what the rules are. Yeah, I think, yeah, we will see at some point. Oh, well, talking about the being, yeah, I think that they just died. Like, I believe that they were just destroyed after you beat the final boss. Also, for those of you who are curious, the YouTube stuff will only ever show what can best be described as sort of like the actual, sort of like the normal stream. So when we stream a full game, it is broadcast to both Twitch and YouTube. But stuff like the Wednesday Final Fantasy 14 stream that's coming up, the infra stuff that's going to be happening on Sundays after we're done, the free spaces, those are all purely on Twitch. Like, I want to keep YouTube streams purely for full game clears that... because YouTube doesn't really handle constantly switching of games very well, unlike on Twitch. I mean, it is, but yeah, I can see why they didn't want to say one thing or another. Especially with Starforce 4 now being leaked. Or at least the baseline for Starforce 4 being leaked. Alright. Yeah. Also, hi, Dr. Nitrofunk. How are you doing? Hope you're having a very good day so far. We are currently, well, dealing with two boss fights back to back, essentially. Also, I love the fact that Dark Phantom quite literally only shows up because he wants power and then fucks off again. Like, he's literally only here because they needed some way to just, I guess, force a noise change of some kind. I mean, you're not wrong there, Doubleman. But yeah, I hope you're having a good first day so far, Nightmare Punk. And that's also what I also like here with Mega as well, is that he's now sort of like turning it all around on, as like, okay, what's happening to you? Because you're always too focused on everyone else. Yeah, I know. It's definitely all fair and all that. But it's I kind of see where he came from, as in like, you can't know if the scene was indeed sort of like, it's sort of like the same with the scene at the end of the Titanic, right? Like, is it really that Rose, you know, went to the afterlife and met up with everyone? Or is it just what people wanted to believe? Like, ambiguity in media is absolutely a thing, but I can also indeed see it as a bit of a cop-out. Yeah, exactly. Also, it feels so in character for Dark Phantom to be talking for so long that his script is forcefully changed. Oh my, Geode, I feel a love triangle coming right up. It's not there. I mean, I kind of want to say, like, I personally like the idea. I'm not sure what you mean with here, but I like the idea, the Dark Phantom, like almost in the same way that Christ, can't quite remember the name I was looking for. But I almost want from now on, if there is a new Starforce game, the Dark Phantom just randomly shows up to give Geo his powers, and then just moves into and then just goes off screen again to do whatever it is he does. Like, as sort of like as a running joke, that he's constantly trying to be really angry and really like, whoa, look at me being all powerful, and it just constantly bites him in the ass. I have to feel this. That is a good hypothesis. I think we need to go ahead and decide how we what the methodology behind this will be. I'm gonna say let's make it a qualitative study, possibly time series. I'm thinking let's make it at a minimum 15 data points. Let's say over the course of about 3 games. I think we can have something here. Like, I think we got something here that we could use. Exactly. Also, I think I have figured out what's going on. Hang on, I think I figured out the problem here. So let me go ahead and... So over here we have the thing. Notice over here it says 0 kbps. The problem is it's still working on Twitch and YouTube's end. So I don't know what's going on here. In fact, I so don't know what's going on that after we are done with both fights, we might have to end the stream early because I genuinely don't know what's going on here. It's still broadcasting. Like, it's still clearly broadcasting. It's still broadcasting on YouTube, it's still broadcasting over here. But it's not showing up as that on OBS. So I don't know what's going on, so we might actually have to end the stream after we're done with both parts, so at the very least end the chapter. because I've never seen this happen before. Like, I am genuinely uncertain as to how this is happening. Welcome back, Sol. So yeah, purely for my own... Exactly, and this is all revenge. This is all revenge for all the times I've gaslighted the chat. But yeah, no, the real reason is that I also can't see if something genuinely goes wrong or not. I have no frame of reference for it. That's sort of the problem. Is on my end, I kind of need to see the frames in order to know whether they're dropping, whether something is going wrong. So it is genuinely really annoying, but I'm also gonna be honest enough to say, like, for all intents, but I also don't know how this is gonna mess with Twitch on other ends. Like, do we just not have advertisements because technically the stream is in a state of both running and not running? Never mind. Okay, well, there's the answer. There's still gonna be an ad break. So, yeah, I'm genuinely kind of sitting over here gobsmacked, like, I don't know. But yeah, let me go ahead and at the very least grab all the blue stuff. There we go, it's 1500 zennies. So yeah, there will still be an ad break coming up. But I'm like, I don't know what the consequences of this are. I don't know if there will be anything, if there won't be anything.
All right, let's clear them out.
So yeah, this is an interesting experiment we've now been into. Oh, good lord. Yeah, that indeed does sound like the start of the apocalypse. I mean, I will say this, it is by far the most, you know, stream alert that I've ever had. But it's also like, I have no clue how we will move on from here at some point. Yeah, okay. Anyway, you do enjoy your ads. They have decided to go rampaging for reasons unknown to mankind. I believe it's indeed in the Bible, but yeah, we're not going to. We don't want to lose Rogue Noise. I believe it is in Apocalypse 1:7 that said, "And lo, behold, for when machines that allow audio and visual transmission across waves unseen through the air begin to break down, and frame drops see 0 with 0 kbps, so too shall the Antichrist come down from the highest heavens in order to..." Exactly, Revelation 7:11. See, here, I knew it was in the Bible somewhere. Ooh. Okay, I'll take that. Speaking of which, are we sure we do that? Also, hang on. There is my son. Doesn't he look good? I know he does. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. We do need to check abilities here because we don't have... No, we don't. Okay. Ooh, 70. Exactly. Oh, wait. Grab you first. Not quite sure what we got there. Exactly, Mogaman indeed. But yeah, as we all know, Revelation 7:11. And lo behold, for the Twitch stream was to break. And thus the golden calf was broken to break down the Antichrist, blah blah, something like that. I don't know. It's been 20 years or so since I last read the Bible. It's acting according to it. That's not quite the problem. I love how even now he's like, oh yeah, it's not the writer's fault, it's the actor's fault. He truly does not belong in this game. Anyway, say hi to Dark Phantom 900. Oh, only 900. Well, we've seen worse.
Bring it on!
Okay.
And also, there's not much he can do at the moment. Exactly. Dark Phantom 900. Pure disfindable skill. Yes, and lo and behold today that a gallon of gas once again falls below the $7 mark for most vengeful, for a god most kind. There we go. Good boy. Has once again given you the ability to drive around and go vroom vroom. There we go. I just kind of like the idea that Dark Phantom has to look into the eyes of his two most hated people as he dies. Just, perfect. And he goes vroom vroom indeed. Ooh, 200. Ooh.
I'm feeling good.
But yeah, you always gain Dark Phantom. Like the forced boss fights always give you the card that you need. So that's like an exception to the rule. Because there's no way to get the mega cards otherwise, so they did account for it. Anyway, I wasn't aware that we could jump over the edge. Hey Nanagal, welcome to a stream that has completely broken down in more than one way. Hope you're having a good time. But yeah, so far it seems that Twitch is holding. There we go. But yeah, like I said, on my end, I'm seeing drop frame 0% kbps. It's still streaming. I don't know what's going on anymore. It is at the moment actually Twitch. If you go to YouTube, everything is working perfectly fine. On Twitch's end, I'm just getting unstable constantly, and I don't know what's going on here anymore. I don't even know, like, if it's safe to continue streaming at the moment. Like, I checked everything. I checked whether it was my connection. I checked if it was YouTube. YouTube is just working perfectly fine. So yeah, I don't know how long we're gonna go for. Might go for another 40 minutes. I'm not sure. We're in a weird dead and alive zone streaming wise. Switch has been fine since the incident. Never going to continue. Exactly, the stream is both on air and off air at the same time. You think we're that weak? Yes, yes you are. Also, we're seeing here one of the problems with Ace. It's exactly. But yeah, it turns out Ace can do exactly one strike before breaking down. So yeah, it turns out that, you know, doing a forced wave change like this actually leaves some scars on the human body. Oh dear. Still, maybe Futurama's good. But yeah, poor Ace trying to talk sense into Tia, which I get the feeling she's not gonna listen to. Oh dear. And it turns out that there are two opposing wishes, which I think this is a much better way of naturally having like people fight each other. And that if they have two fundamentally different, I mean in this case it's called wishes, but whatever you want to call it. Like remember, the best villains are people that are heroes in their own stories. And I think that Acid and Virgo are good examples of that. And some other people. I mean, to be fair, Acid did need to see me grind for Rogue Noise for 90 minutes, you know. Oh yeah, absolutely. Even Kefka thought he was right. Although, I'll be honest, controversial opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of Final Fantasy VI. And Kefka as a villain, maybe it's because I played it way later and I had already seen better villains out there. Like for me, another good example is Andrew Ryan from BioShock. Like he genuinely believes in his ideology so completely that he's more so a villain because he stands between you and leaving for all intents and purposes. And at that point, it becomes less of, okay, he's just evil for the sake of being evil, but he genuinely believes so deeply in something that is just fundamentally opposed to what you believe in. I've streamed all of Final Fantasy VI. It's not up on YouTube or Twitch because I'm really not happy with the way that the streams turned out. I don't like Final Fantasy VI. I mean, I like it enough, but not in the way that people seemingly scream and yap about it. Like, people have talked about Final Fantasy VI being this great story, and Kefka is this great, amazing villain, yada yada. Like, it's okay. I just don't really see... No, it didn't. I mean, to be fair, Final Fantasy XIV is the first Final Fantasy game that I played, so nothing really hit me in the same way. It's also like, now that I've played Kefka, I'm like, yeah, he's like great and all, but unfortunately, I didn't play Final Fantasy VI when it came out. I played it after I've played so many other stories with so many great villains. Like, I can see why, let me put it this way, I can see why people consider Final Fantasy VI, as high as it is, given the context of when it was released. But having played it now, after so many years, and after having played so many stories, it's still good. It's just, I don't quite see the hype. That's sort of the main thing for me. It's like, it's not that I dislike it or anything, but it's like, yeah, it's fine. It's just not quite what people promised me it would be. And I think that that is sort of the main problem there. And it's one of the reasons that it's not up on YouTube anywhere, that the Final Fantasy VI streams are nowhere to be found. Because I decided that the streams were so negative and so not fun to watch that I've deleted all of them. Like, there is something to be said about keeping streams up that are a mistake, and I've made my fair share of mistakes, and I've had my fair share of streams that I believe are bad. But Final Fantasy VI is kind of unique in that it made people actively leave. And that's the point where I draw the line. Like, if people start actively leaving because of the stream, if I'm actively upsetting people, then that stream is not going up, period. Like, at that point, I kind of finished it for the sake of finishing it. But I knew at that point, when it hit, or when that moment came during the stream series, I sort of knew, like, okay, this is not going up on YouTube. Like, to be fair, I played Stormblood before I played any other Final Fantasy game, so... You know, for me, it's like, for me, Hien is just Hien. Although I will say that suplexing a train was definitely a highlight. Anyway, with 1200 HP, it's Queen Virgo.
All right.
She's water elemented. Has a water element, my bad.
Goodbye.
There we go. Yeah, let's go to Ice Stage.
Here I go.
I know that there is an attack later on. Yeah, no, absolutely. I can absolutely see why people liked it as much as they did. It's just that, for me, Stormblood was Stormblood. So the same with the Crystal Tower series. It's like, now that I've played Final Fantasy III, I know why people consider it's such a big deal. But at the same time, like, when I first played the Crystal Tower, before it was forced upon you, it just kind of was like, yeah, it's a fun thing. And I obviously, now that I've actually beaten the Crystal Tower, I can see why people consider it so high, regard it so highly. But that's just a nice bonus at that point.
Goodbye.
There we go, okay. So that is, I know what that attack is gonna be, so we can put in Cancer Bubble. And I believe that is it. There we go.
All according to plan.
I will say this, if you're not prepared for Queen Virgo, she can be difficult. She can be very difficult if you're not prepared for Queen Virgo. But, you know, minimally, having been hit minimally. If the reason wasn't needed, then he really got emotional. Fire. Like, I'm currently replaying Stormblood because a friend of mine is going through Final Fantasy XIV for the first time. I've definitely mellowed out on Stormblood as a story. I mean, like, that's sort of the thing, isn't it? If it's your first Final Fantasy game, I can totally see how 6, like, really, really enthralls you in that sense. And like I said, I can see why people like it so much. Like, I'm not sitting here shitting on it like, oh, I don't get all the hype, I don't care what people say. That's not the case. Like, I fully see why Final Fantasy VI was considered so revolutionary. And why it was considered such an important milestone in gaming. The problem is that unlike something like Silent Hill, which I streamed earlier this year, something is lost over the years with 6. And I don't know what it is. And I've been thinking a lot on that question over the last few months. It's like, what is it about 6 specifically that has me so iffy on it? And I don't know the answer. Why is it that when I stream something like Silent Hill 2 Remastered, I get fully engrossed in it? And like, that I can see, still to this day can see, that the story itself holds up so beautifully. That I got genuinely teary-eyed at the end of that game. But with 6 I just didn't, and I think part of it is the back half. And that's fair, you know, like, people are very much allowed to like what they like, first of all. But it's also like, I think that part of it is simply the back half. And now I know, and I didn't know that when I was playing it, that the second half was essentially just kind of put in there because they, for reasons I don't fully understand, but it was not really the plan to have that back half. But as a result, Kefka for me feels unfulfilling because he's a clear presence in the first half of the game. And then you move to the second half and it's like, oh, he's just gone. Like, his boss fight is genuinely very cool and one of the best boss fights I've ever played. Absolutely. But he just disappears from his own game. And unlike someone like Andrew Ryan, where the disappearance is because he died, you know, like in what might be one of the best cutscenes in video gaming history, Kefka doesn't have that. And now I know that the floating continent was meant to be the finale at first. And then he just sits on the tower for the second half. And I think that it's there where sort of like a lot of my problems really begin to shine through. But it might also be because of the kind of gamer that I am. Like, I like linearity to some extent. I like a story. I like the ability that the game tells me. I'm so terrified of picking the wrong direction in video games that open world games don't really hit me the same way. Like, I still play them. I still have a lot of fun with them. But if it's pure gameplay, then at some point I just get bored. I need something more. And the second half of Final Fantasy VI, it gives small side stories, but it's also kind of like, okay, you're now left to your own devices. For some people, that's great. Some people love that. I'm not that kind of person. And I think that's really the back half where sort of like a lot of my feelings regarding Final Fantasy VI come to light. And I think it's indeed as well, it's like if you know that Kefka is the main villain, which, how do you not know that through cultural osmosis? It indeed just kind of diminishes it. Because you can see how Kefka becoming the main villain is this big, important moment, and you're like, well, yeah, he was always going to. Because you can't be on the internet without knowing it. Exactly. So it's like, and in that case, you kind of need to take the package of the game as a whole. And that's where it sort of begins to fall down. Like, for me, Final Fantasy V is the better overall package because it just stays strong. It just kind of stays more consistent the entire way through. Where 6 has a couple of really great peaks, but also really deep valleys. It's sort of the reason that I like Heavensward more than Stormblood. Like, Heavensward has less high peaks, but it's also more consistent. Whereas Stormblood has very high peaks at times, but also it goes through some rough stuff. Like, there is some rough stuff in Stormblood. And as a result, I guess I just am the kind of person that likes consistency more than that I can forgive peaks and valleys like that. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like you kind of need to see it in the way that it used to be, like through hardware limitations and stuff like that. And that's why I'm not too angry at people. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say like, oh, I don't understand it. I do understand why people like it. It's just that I played it too late for me to... Like, I just played it too late for me to really focus on it. But yeah, Ace is unwilling to talk at the moment. Makes sense. He just saw Tia be put in jail for all intents and purposes. So it's like I said, like it's not as if, you know, it's not as if Final Fantasy VI is a bad game. It's really not. But it's sort of like, you know, partially preference based. I like 5 more. Even if the story is less in 5, it's also more consistent. I'm willing to put that up to a combination of both. But I will say this: it is genuinely a great final fight. Like, it absolutely is. And yeah, like a small reminder from Ace that she's just trying to do her best. Which is the best you can do, given the fact that they're trying to return a human back to life. Oh yeah, that is something that I was never told as well. So it's a shame because I did like Shadow as a character. Like, I had to be told that afterwards, and I'm like, how exactly are you meant to figure that out? Because, you know, there's a continent that is, in the most literal sense of the word, being destroyed. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be running for my life. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Is like, like I said, it definitely the second half. That's what I'm saying. That the second half kind of makes it fall. Yeah. But yeah, we're currently speaking of emotional moments. Press is seemingly finally. It seems that the impossible is happening. Yeah, once again, sort of like part, you know, it's like sort of like combining with the part of that the power of bonds. Like, if you know it's gonna happen, it's still a really nice scene. But if you're playing it for the first time, then it's like, will she or won't she? Because people have been killed before in the series. That's fair. Also, yay, she's back. Yay, Luna is back. I'm happy she's back. I'm not happy it means we get more Luna. Exactly. Back to her old self indeed. Also, we have an ad break in 1 minute. There we go, and we fulfilled our purpose. And what a journey to fulfill it has been. As we move into slowly but steadily the next chapter. Yeah, you know what really should have happened is that Electman should have come back from the dead and just started messing with the system, and there's like a little timer going on in the background that shows you how much data has been regenerated, and if it reaches 0, then you just game over and the save just deletes itself. Like in that case, you're just not worthy. You know, and it's obviously should also be that Legman is like has like 3000 HP as well. You know, really proving that you're capable of doing this. We're in the middle of an ad break. I can joke. I actually forgot to send this to someone else as well. One moment. There's one more place I need to do this. There we go. Also, for some reason, my Discord, which actually is a good moment to do this real fast, my Discord has turned into a conversation about the British electoral system. So let me see here. Good lord, this future Prime Minister any great success in his 6 to 24 months enough. Letters also. God, no, Haru, don't talk about the letters, damn it. Also, let me go ahead and I think I know exactly what this is. Let me go now to there we go. Joshua is there as well. Also, hi Subaru, how are you doing? And welcome back, everyone. Apparently, people are currently discussing the fact that Andy Burnham might be running for Prime Minister. Which, yeah. But yeah, Joshua is there indeed. He's, he doesn't really talk much, but he never talks, but, you know, he's there. And in fact, I'm gonna be helping Joshua with something hopefully next week. Yeah, I kind of like the idea that Geo is genuine. On the one hand, I kind of like it. On the other hand, that would feel like a regression of his character, Double Man. Because Geo has slowly moved towards actually helping people for the sake of helping. And sort of like going towards, oh yeah, you know, I'm just not gonna deal with this. Feels like a regression back to Starforce 1. Which we already had that happen in Starforce. We already had that moving in and out of that in Starforce 2. Also, that of course that's the first picture. I thank you for that. We needed thank you for that picture. We needed that. It's a good way to know that we should not be talking politics during the Mega Man streams. I can see why you would want that. Absolutely. But then again, like, it reminds me of the fact that we obviously had Star Force 4, where it's like, I just wish we would have seen that, because I think a more grown-up, more angry Geo would be an interesting twist. But yeah, and there we go. That is this particular chapter finished. The first of, and what I also like about this game is people actually get arrested for their crimes. It's like there's actual consequences for the first time in a Mega Man game. Kazuma's personality. I'm based on the fact that he's a hacker, I'm assuming he's... That's actually a really good question. I would like to believe that... I mean, obviously it's a Mega Man game, so he would obviously be... I kind of want to say that he would take the place of Child, to be honest. Like, I'm imagining, since it's Geo's obviously first time on the run for the law, from the law, which me and Sol have more than had, you know, sort of like, you've done a variety of head theories for over the course of the streams. But I kind of like to believe that he would sort of like be the child to Geo's lamb. That's sort of how I'm imagining it. That's not entirely true. Star Force 2, he temporarily lost a bunch of people as well, but I do get what you mean. To be fair, I think that Mega in that regard kind of... if we do look at the situation that Geo is in with regards to Dark Phantom, he's obviously in a hostage situation. So I kind of want to believe that Mega is just kind of venting out the feelings that Geo is feeling but can't really express for the safety of his friends. And yeah, we're back to normal for a bit. Which I might spend some time doing side questing. Like, I still need to remember where we get Undershirt. I desperately need it. Especially because there's a boss fight in this chapter that I'm infamously bad at. Oh, he absolutely was not, which is probably... But like I said, I kind of like to believe that Mega was just sort of venting those feelings for Geo. In the end, we will never quite know. Can I point out the fact that apparently Bud is not mentioning food is considered a this music level event? Just want to point this out, is like the fact that it's like, wow, Bud has not mentioned food for an entire conversation. Clearly, there's something horrendous going on as a result. I definitely like that. Like, it's a great way to use music for comedy. Also, I believe this is the first time ever that we see a character jump around like this. Ah, now I'm getting hungry. Or I just have to change. Oh dear. But you're 12. You don't need to think about that. I don't think either. Exactly. He is very easy to read indeed. Well, but... No, wait, hang on. I think what we need is we need to dim the lights and we need to get like a single bed light, like one of those really ones that really shine in your ears. And we just need to move it towards Bud. I think we need to do an interrogation here. Like close to, like, here's my idea. Close the class lights. Grab one of those, like, one of those really big lights that really shine in your ears and just start interrogating him. Simple and effective. I feel seen. Why is Bud capable of being on a diet and every single time I try I only gain more pounds? Also, you just heard a unique VFX as well. Yeah, it was in the end. I mean, it's still being very used by everyone, by myself included, at the moment. So don't worry about it. There's been a lot of people talking lately about how millennials don't want to grow up and sort of see adulting still as this mysterious thing, even though the ages that we're reaching. And someone made a really good comment on that. That the reason that we're sort of talking about this in this way, and sort of like saying with like, oh, we're 30 years old. It's because adulthood, if I'm allowed to get philosophical here for a moment, I am, it's my own stream, but still. If I'm allowed to get philosophical here, I think it's because nothing of what we were told adulthood would be like has actually come true. Like, and I'm speaking as a millennial, as a 30-ish old millennial here. It's like, when I grew up, and this was like the late 90s, early 2000s, you know, I couldn't wait to get older. You know, I couldn't wait to be able to do all of these things that all the adults could do. And then 2007 happened. And then 2011 happened. And then 2016 happened. And then 2020 happened. Like, every few years, something happens that makes adulthood not only worse, but actively more difficult. You know, like, I did everything, like, if I'm allowed to complain for a moment, I did everything right. I got myself a degree. I worked myself up to the knowledge level that I'm expected to. I can't find a job at all on my level. Like, I'm currently waiting possibly on getting something back, but let's be honest, it's not gonna happen. You know, I'm constantly seeing the world slowly but steadily fall apart. I am, you know, the world is going to shit. We are seeing people constantly vote against their own self, against their own interests. We're seeing how social media has essentially ruined relationships to some extent. Like, nothing what I was told adulthood would be like as a child has actually come true. You know, this old idea of like, okay, if you work hard, then you'll be able to afford a vacation every once in a while, you'll be able to live a normal life, you know, you'll be able to get children. I don't have the money to get children. So it's like, one of the reasons that I'm constantly going back towards childhood stuff is because, you know, you can still dream if you're a child. Like, if I have a bunch of plushies, I fully admit that, you know, I'll grab them every once in a while. Because, you know, as a child, it was all just simpler. Oh, good lord. I've never seen that skip before, and I'm very happy now that I see that. But it's like, you know, as a child, everything is still possible. So whenever I sort of like do childish things, it's because, you know, I kind of want to go back to that era where you could still believe in a lot of these things. So, yeah. I don't know. It's just something that came up out of nowhere. Anyway, point there is, life shit, and we're just trying to make a best out of it. Oh, good lord. But yeah, anyway, point here is, every time I'm on a diet, I somehow seemingly gain more than I'm losing. Which is a fascinating bit of physics that I've still not quite been able to figure out. Like, I am eating healthier. I'm no longer at the stage where the moment that I've been awake for 16 hours, I'm just really, really tired. Like, I'm genuinely healthier, but I'm also not losing anything. Which is the entire point, partially. Anyway, please ignore my yapping about my own inability to keep to a diet. Somehow she can see through everyone, but she didn't see Joker coming. Haha. Apparently she saw through everyone, but not enough. Otherwise, stream is fine. Yeah, but to be honest, that is a good sign that after this, that is actually good that you mention it, because then that's just a sign that we do kind of need to end it for the sake of the stream, because in that case, stuff is still happening in the background. So I really wish we could continue on, because I had like a full 5-hour stream planned, and we would be doing this chapter as well. And then on Saturday we could start with the noise stuff as well, where sort of like the noise comes down and Meteor G. And the idea was that by Sunday we would be finished, which we still might be able to do that. And then next week we can sort of focus on the post-game content. But I am gonna go ahead and do a sneak peek of what we're gonna be doing on Sundays after we are done with the Starforce Legacy Collection. Oh, good lord. Is there ever a moment when your family is not doing a garage sale on Sundays? Ooh, I'm gonna watch that clip in a bit, in that case. Like, so it kind of feels as if your family is always doing a garage sale on the weekends. Also, what's tomorrow? I mean, technically tomorrow is weekend. Is that what she's looking for? Is it someone's birthday? Have we forgotten someone's birthday? To be honest, if my family is like, oh, but are you prepared for Sunday? I'm like, Sunday? Like, whenever my family's like, oh yeah, hey, don't forget about Sunday. I'm like, Sunday? I don't know, is someone's birthday on Sunday? And then it turns out that there's like some event planned that I've completely forgotten. But yeah, I am both Gio and Zach in this moment. I also always forget the important date. This is over the summer, but this oh good lord, I feel so sorry for you, dude. Gio, just wave change and quickly move away. She will be. If you wave change now, Luna will be so enamored that you can run away. Quick, use your powers for sake of good. And she will be so smitten Zack too can quickly run under a table. Like, just go ahead, transform into Mega Man, let her be smitten, quickly run out of the room. That's the best way. Like, the best tactic is running as far away as humanly possible. Oh dear. I will be honest, I don't have the money to hoard, apart from tracksuits. So, why not? Working to put things in order outside going through the workshops. Oh dear lord, I do feel so sorry for you, dude. But yeah, this next chapter is all about Luna for press. The very first purpose that we all had. And I think after this, there's actually only 2 more purposes left, so we are really getting into the end game. I often also consider these 2 chapters to be a singular chapter because of the fact that you deal with both Tia and Jack. Could be an... Oh, cool! Also saw under various charities plane tickets. Oh, cool! I mean, it is really cool. It's also like, it feels like every week you're talking about how there's a sale going on. Also, I need to hire you at some point to get me a Moo, to get me a Moo bookcase or something like that. Like, at some point, if I have the money, I should hire you in order to get myself furniture in a specific style. I will say though, trying to explain that one to customs would be quite a thing. Like, yes, officer, that is indeed an entire bookcase that I took with me on the plane. Why do you ask? Oh god, yeah. Oh, I remember Digimon being on TV at times, but for me it was always after 6 p.m. And at 6 p.m, my, you know, like my parents took control of the television. I'm sorry, 4 days? Good lord. I really feel for you, dude. I really, really feel for you. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna do this on Saturday because at this point Twitch is breaking down on multiple fronts. But before we go anywhere, we're first gonna go ahead and do some other stuff. Games Digimon would have mocked it. Yeah. I mean, Pokemon, I believe Pokemon has always gotten more out of the merchandise than anything else, so that makes sense. Inherent wind properties. Okay, yeah, we are well aware of that. And Spicy Milk Candy Shop is now open. Go and save here. So, a couple of things that we want to do. First things first. Let's return to the main menu. Because today was actually surprisingly good achievements-wise. If you go to the gallery and we see the... Oh, whoops, wrong one. We see the awards, then we can start seeing some new ones up on here. In fact, quite a few new ones. We've managed to get... Make Some Noise for 10 illegal cards, Stacked Deck for 20 illegal cards, and Stage Sweeper for using your cards to turn 15 panels into an attack. We have only 14 more to go, and the vast majority of them will be the end game. The only ones we can really get beforehand is Card Connoisseur, No Hurt for Hurts, and Lucky Star, and Suit Fair, and obviously also Play Your Cards Right. But we are getting there very slowly, very surely. We are finally beginning to get there. Before we go, let me quickly do some... Talk about like 5 episodes total. That is very fair. Before we do anything else, let me go ahead and do some teasing of a game that we're going to be doing on Sundays in a while. The reason that I'm going to be teasing this is because if you want to play along with the Sunday streams after we're done, then you might as well go ahead and at the very least know what is going on. This is a game called Infra. We're going to be streaming this on Sundays during Sunday sessions when we are done with 100%ing the Starforce Legacy Collection. It is partially a walking simulator, partially a civil engineer's worst day on the job, and I might as well just show you the trailer for the idea.
My name is Alex Hartman. I was just betrayed by the man who practically built this whole city. It started with Bergman, then Stahlberg Steel, and now my company, all bankrupted by Jeff Walter. He bought the companies for next to nothing and then ran them straight into the ground. But that's the least of my problems. With the company out of business, there's no way we can keep everything in good repair. Things are breaking down all over the city, but no one's doing anything about it. The police, the mayor, and now it seems like even the governor's in his pocket. They care more about his money than what he's doing to this place. Whatever he's planning, it's going to happen. And I don't want to be here when it does. Because there's one thing I'm sure of. Everything's about to fall apart.
That is the game that is going to be taking up our Sundays going forward once we are done with the Starforce Legacy Collection. It is not currently on sale. If you're not sure about the game, I recommend you just kind of get it on sale if you can. But it is definitely the kind of game where you can either just watch me play it or play it yourself. It's a very unique kind of game. I will say this much. It's a very unique game. It's one of the most unique games I've ever played. Like I said, it is pretty much a walking simulator. You could treat it as such. But there is more going on than a pure walking simulator. So we're going to be going through all of Infra over the course of quite a few Sundays going forward. First of all, of course, we have the Mega Man Starforce Legacy Collection, which means that on Saturday we're going to go and continue with more Legacy Collection. Same with Sunday. Next week, hopefully we'll be finishing up the post-game of Starforce 3. Then on Wednesday, on Thursday night, on my nights that is, so Wednesday, if you are in the Pacific region, then on Wednesday around 4 p.m.-ish, in my case, it will be Tuesday. It will already have ticked over past midnight. I will be streaming Final Fantasy 14. A friend of mine is going to go through the Alexander raids for the first time, and he's going to be streaming that, and I'm just going to be streaming it as well on Twitch's end, because why not? Might as well be, you know, a bit of fun. So that's it for me for today. Thank you all for joining me, even though we had quite a few technical difficulties, be it through lurking or talking in chat. It's always deeply appreciated. If you want to support me financially, you can do so by subscribing to the channel, which is apparently also a thing that's going to be happening for people that don't have affiliate, which is interesting. It keeps all the ads nice and away. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you guys on Saturday for more Starforce 3, but hopefully we will be finishing up the chapters 5 and 6, and then Sunday, who knows, we might actually go into Meteor G. Have a good night.